People who were asked, "Sell me this pen" during a job interview. How did you answer? Not me, but a former sales manager was a douchebag who prided himself on being the greatest and the only one who knew everything about sales and tech. He didn't, hence the word former. He was trying to find a new salesperson, but rejected nearly every resume I put in front of him for nitpicky bullshit until one day he announced that he'd found the perfect candidate and was bringing him in for a formal interview, but he was pretty sure he was going to hire him on the spot. He kept going on and on about how this guy was perfect and why couldn't we find him someone like this and blah blah blah. Whatever, fine, just get it done. He brought the guy in, sat him down, and said, "Sell me this pen." The guy picked up the pen, handed it back, and said, "I don't play pen games." Then he walked out, and we never heard or saw him again. You wanna see a magic trick? Would you really hire somebody who charges you 50 quid for a pen that was already yours to begin with? 50 quid. Alright, 30 for you. Deal. I did this once. I didn't take it seriously at all, since it was for selling advertising on the 8th ranked country station in a small liberal town. Instead of selling the guy a pen, I got him interested in buying a pontoon boat, as he mentioned having a base boat earlier in the interview. He was like, "Sell me this pen," and I said, "Why? Are you in the market for a pen right now? Is that a problem you're having a hard time solving yourself?" And then we started talking about free time and hobbies. It totally worked, and I don't know how, and I also didn't care, because that job sucked. I asked, "May I see it?" I then put it in my pocket. He asked for the pen back, and I tried to charge him £10 for it. I didn't get the job, or get to keep the pen. But sir, I applied to be a janitor. This pen has the antidote. During our interview for an electronic sales job, the interviewer asked me to take home a fairly expensive floor model of Blu-ray player and come back the next day with a sales pitch. It was very strange to put trust in me, as he had just met me in the interview 5 minutes ago. I came back the next day with a bunch of product knowledge and landed the job. Worked there for several years, and oftentimes the boss would send us home with cool new electronics to try out, sometimes even keep. It was a rewarding place to work, and also a great way to get product experienced sales staff. Ran out of business by Best Buy, unfortunately. Stood up and fucked off out of there. It was a job for truck driving. What a cunt. Edit. Thank you for the silver award, kind stranger. My first award. I'm indeed honored. I don't have to. You already bought it. I got the job. Easy. Tell the interviewer you cannot, because your sale method is not selling a customer something they do not need, but match the right customer to the right product at the right time. I heard it being asked at a group interview by the new lady from ours. I shot her a WTF look. She asked a different question instead. I was told that I was the owner of a pencil store, and my interviewer said that he only needed a pen. When I started to pretend offering him a selection of pens, I was stopped. "No, your only inventory is pencils, specifically the real life number 2 pencil on the table between us." So I changed tactics. If you are in that dire need of a pen, then I'm assuming that something must have gone wrong with your day. If everything was according to plan for you, you'd have a pen in your pocket and would have passed my shop by and gotten on with your life. But something went wrong, which happens. If I sold you a pen, then it could break, it could ruin that nice suit, and a 3-cent piece of plastic could cost you hundreds of dollars in the process. All because something simple went wrong. If something goes wrong with one of my pencils, the worst outcome that could come from a pencil, here I hold out the pencil and snap it half. You just end up with 2 pencils. I hate sales, but I'm still completely dorkily proud of that particular bullshit. I sold a guy a truck. About a week later he interviewed me for a job. Didn't know it would be the same guy. He asked me the pen question, paused and said we did that last week and moved on. I sacrificed my dignity in attempt to fool someone into buying something they didn't need. Disassemble the pen and give them 1 part for free and offer the rest in a series of microtransactions. I would tell them that I had already created a website to purchase pens called Pen Island and would encourage them to visit penisland.com. I once had a job of a shitty office supply company, you know the one, where it was our literal job to sell pens to people and try to upsell them on stupid shit they didn't need / or want. It was all randomized and scripted though as to what it would try to upsell them on. I see you've bought a bulk package of 100 Bic pens today for like $8.99. Would you like to purchase 4 Micropoint Gel Ink 4-color pack of pens for $11.99? It was absolutely ridiculous. I almost always refused to do it because it was stupid and the customers generally appreciated the fact I wasn't reading them some pre-scripted bullshit on some garbage they didn't want / need. My stats were fantastic, but because I didn't do the upsell bullshit, I was eventually fired. And not because of that. They decided one day I had a customer on hold too long, 4 to 6 minutes, while trying to find them an answer to their question that required me to get up from my desk cube, track down my supervisor, who then had to track down the manager. Fuck that place. Not quite the same, but I was filling out an application for a job once when the owner came back where I was and said if you can name the song on the radio right now, you can have the job. I was able to name it and started at 5 that night. Close bracket. Be more creative with your interview questions. Pull off my shirt to reveal the Staples uniform underneath. You mean sell it to you again? I was once at a job fair where this wasn't even attached to an interview. It was more like an open mic night kind of thing. I skipped it. Edit. On another job, a customer told me that my describing my dislike of upselling was a bonding experience with the customer who doesn't want to be upsold and thus a really slick sales tactic. He didn't seem mad. So, either sales is really 12th dimensional Zen chess and I accidentally made a good play, or he was just messing with me. I don't know. As an engineer, I've never had this question asked of me. That's because engineers aren't good with people, so you have a people person like Tom Smokowski to sell the pen. You're not my market. I can get more elsewhere. I'll keep it for now. Thanks. I took it home with me. Later, when the interviewer phoned me and asked for it back, I said £50 and it's yours. I asked them why. You already bought it. They told me I had to prove my salesmanship skills. So I said why. You already paid for it. Clearly the product speaks for itself. Just like our product does. I got the job. But it turns out I was actually interviewing to be a janitor, and they got me confused with someone else. I said what do you need a pen for? Best sales strategy is to ask questions before you make your approach. I failed TBH, but I was taken from a fast food joint and then thrown into sales. I held it up like a dagger and told him I was going to stab him through the eye with it if he didn't buy it in the next 10 seconds. I did not get the job, but I got $417 and a nice watch for the pen. Boast that you can sell it to a deaf man. When they ask how, just bellow do you want to buy a pen at the top of your voice. I made it emotional. Through some internet research, corporate people put everything on LinkedIn. I learned that his high school age daughter was really into horses. I asked him to picture himself writing a check with this pen for a perfect saddle for his daughter, while she looked on in admiration, and think of all the hard work and sacrifice they had both made to make that happen. And told him that now, whenever he looked at that pen he would remember that feeling. Was told later that the only part of that whole conversation that mattered was I did my research beforehand and was able to use it on the fly. Turns out his daughter is a spoiled brat and he could care less about another saddle. I leave. I'm in sales and anybody that thinks this question has any value past 1995 isn't someone worth working for. Sorry, this is not my pen. Selling it would be a crime under local law. #1. I'm not interviewing to be a salesman. Asking me to sell you a pen would be a total waste of my skills and talents. #2. If you are in the habit of buying things which you already own, I'm afraid to know what other poor business decisions you make on a daily basis. Either way, I'm surprised the company isn't circling the drain already. No wonder you hiring. Tell them the pen sucks, because it's probably some big piece of crap, and offer to sell my Uniball Jetstream, which is the best lower price pen on the market. Let's put aside buying the pen. I will work for you for the first 6 months for free. Just sign here. Smooth. They gave you their only pen. They want it now. Proceed to deep throat the pen before cleaning your ear with it. Offer to clean the interviewer's ear. Act annoyed when he/she refuses. Sulk a little. Accept the job will not be yours. Do me a favor and write your name down right there, noticing he needs the pen. Exactly. Supply and demand. Be sure to like and subscribe for more reading Reddit videos. Thanks, bye. Be sure